Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. Engaged. Yeah! I gotta come on like that all the time. Yeah! You know, I do that a lot. You know, come on like, hey! Whoa! I guess I want to make you feel, welcomed and warmed just from the get-go here. You know, it's like, it's so exciting for me when I hit that button and here I am and there you are. I feel so excited and I feel so happy. I can't even put it into words, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, no, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry out loud. Just keep it inside. Just learn to hide your feelings. All right, I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell just happened. I'll tell you what happened, honestly. Let me do this. Let me see if I can get rid of some of these sound effects, because I went a little crazy here. Let's get rid of that. Okay, good. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I've mentioned this before that I work from home and such, and I've just been involved in a meeting, and actually the meeting is still going on. That started like over 3 hours ago to go over this one document. I'll tell you, I don't want to criticize him. I'm not going to get into like a whole big thing. I just can't even believe people, like, they take this stuff so seriously and they're just into it and they just keep talking. This one guy, he just keeps talking and talking and talking, and it's just like, I don't know, just give me the damn document by myself. The what they're looking for, here's the document we have, and I'll compare them both, and I'll copy and paste. I can be done in 20 minutes. Where's my damn play? 20 minutes, I'll be done. Over 3 hours to pontificate over, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that? Rah, 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 rah. We're doing business. Hey-o. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, please like, subscribe, and share. Build this channel. Help create a community. Save my damn life from this nonsense. Please. I am really blessed, though. I'm blessed and lucky to have a job that I can work from home. So I don't want to complain too much, but I can never get it through. I mean, I'm literally there for over 3 hours, like just going over a document, like 6-page document. Rah, 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 rah. It's just, I don't know. I apologize, but that's why I came in here. I'm like, my energy's all like, what? So let me back up, because maybe this is the first time you've ever seen this show, and if it is, I'm really sorry for you. You caught me at a heck of a time, right? But anyway, this is Operation Status Quo. I am Pete Palma, your user-friendly host. We are broadcasting live, which we do generally 5 days a week. I'm a little bit late today. Sometimes I try to get here more like around, by 2, 3 o'clock, that kind of time. I've been trying to, fit it in. But unfortunately, they wrote me in. And that damn Teams, I'll tell you, I've been, because Microsoft Teams is what they use for a lot of this stuff. Like, I have nightmares. I just hear the ding of Teams, like ding, like a message came in, or the ding. You hear that, like the call is coming in. It's just like, it's like blasting my brain apart. Okay. All right. I'm going to digress from all that. This is Operation Status Quo. Did I say that? But this is Operation Status Quo. Here on this program, if you're new to here, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I'm sorry. I hope you're still here, because it's like 3 minutes and I don't know what I've done so far except for go crazy. But anyway, we observe the status quo of life. That's what we do here. We observe it. We learn to flow with it. And I don't want to say flow with it in the sense of accept it and take it. We flow with it because, we have to live and mitigate circumstances around us. But then we learn to create our own flow of quo, because truly that's the only way to go. You understand what I'm trying to say? So we observe it, we flow with what's going on, and then we create our way around it. Just like I'm doing right now. I sent them a message on this meeting, said, I got to step away for a few minutes. I'll be right back. I'm going on YouTube. I didn't say that, but oh my God, it's just like, why? Like, people, this is where I'm going to get to even when I'm talking about today, but thank God our society is changing the way it is. Thank God these old paradigms and ways of doing things are collapsing around us. I cannot wait for a fresh new world when you actually have a job and the function actually serves something instead of just a bunch of nonsense. You got 5 people on a call for over 3 hours. You know what those salaries equal? I'm not going to tell you, but okay, 5 people on a call for, is it 5? It might have been 6 of us. Either way, over 3 hours to go over one document. And I'm thinking, like, I don't get this. I do this doc, just give it to me 10 minutes. I'll be done. And we can be on to something else and everybody can enjoy their day. But these people, they don't want to enjoy their day. They want to do this nonsense. All right. So, did I say we observe the status quo? We do. We observe, we flow, we create our own flow, and we have a good time. And the most important thing here, and this may seem like a total hypocrisy after the first 5 minutes, but this is a place of love and joy and togetherness. Seriously, it really, really is. I really do love everybody. You know, I just don't like being bothered. I don't like being bothered by people and their nonsense. You know, unfortunately, I don't mean this in a negative kind of way. I happen to be an intelligent person. I really can accomplish a lot of things in a short amount of time, and I'm able to, you know, like get a lot done in a day if people just leave me alone. Like you get involved with these other people, unfortunately, that, you know, aren't in the same capacity as yourself, and then you got to like bring yourself down to deal with them. Like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, you know? And it's like, but really, it's not a great idea. I wish you would just shut the frig up and let's get done, because I got to get to my audience on YouTube. Thank you for letting me vent. Heyo. Vent. I don't know. Vet my venting. Anyway, seriously though, this is a place of love, togetherness, and joy. We really do just want to observe the life that's going on around us, and, you know, not get mad, not make any judgments. As you see, I'm really doing a great job of that here in the beginning of this one. But we don't want to get mad. We don't want to judge. We want to create a space where we all flow together and just, you know, appreciate each other's each other's abilities and talents, and we all work as a community. Okay, so that's the foundation. That's what it's all about. Today is the 17th of May in the good year 2023. Hello and welcome, and thank you so much for being here. And today is Durham the Bull. Yes, indeed, because I guess we realized the Durham report has finally been released, and it showed, of course, what we knew from the beginning, that there was no Russian collusion. Although I won't say it that matter of fact, because I'm always a person that says you don't know what's true and what's not true. I mean, even the stuff that's like, you know, when I first of all, I got to take it a step back and remind everybody that everything we're watching is a show. Okay, everything is a show, and to speak to that, I pretty much believe, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but you can look into yourself, because there's a lot of what we don't know about Hollywood and some of the important people in our lives and such, or say important people in our lives, but people that we look at as important, and what their roles really are, and why they're really in the situations that they're in. And if you look into that, there's a lot of celebrities they talk about that have not passed away. People like Michael Jackson and Prince. I hear a lot of these stories of these different people. You know, JFK Jr. They go on about that a lot. You know, these you know the quote unquote the conspiracy things and everything. But I want to be honest with you. I do believe that Durham is Bruce Willis. You know, if you look at him, just look in his eyes, and, you know, he looks like him. And I've heard this before, and I find it kind of fascinating, because, you know, Bruce Willis kind of was like let go of the spotlight of, oh, his health is poor, he's declining, he has no brain function left, and he just kind of disappears. And that was over the last like year, right? You know, he just kind of disappears, and then, oh, now all of a sudden, where's Durham been all this time? And Durham pops up now, right? And he's there, and all of a sudden he's in the spotlight. So I just think it's interesting that these people are kind of put into their roles for whatever the case may be, what the reason is. Like, I've heard stuff about, you know, Bruce Willis really being like a CIA agent and stuff. That's why he plays the characters that he does in the movies and knows how to do all the stuff that he does. But really, you know, they're just playing roles in this big movie that's been going on for years. I mean, this movie's been going on for generations, basically. And Trump is just a part of it. And that's why I thought it was interesting about, you know, Durham coming out, and they show everything that, you know, this particular case, if you want to look at it just on surface level, you know, proves that, you know, there was no Russian collusion, right? And, you know, and then the other side, you know, they make a big deal of like, what a waste of time this investigation was, because no charges are being brought against anybody. They just showed. But, you know, the funny thing about it is, well, I mean, like, it just proves it even more of how corrupt everything. No charges were brought about on anybody, because the people that are involved in making all this happen, they're all buddies. Nobody's going to bring charges, but they're blatantly come out and say that, you know, this information was wrong, and they didn't do their due diligence, and all these different, you know, aspects of it that kind of brought it to the light where it shouldn't even have gotten as far as it's gotten, you know, especially with Clinton and Obama and Biden and all this, and and it's just it's pretty amazing to me how people turn a blind eye. And again, it happens because, you know, it's always about Trump. You know, people just hate this character, and I always say it's a character. You know, Trump, he's playing a part. You know, he's playing a part because it's time for people to wake up. And, you know, however it came to be fruition of him, playing this part that he's playing. And that's what I say. And I've said this before, that people just hate him so much that it really doesn't matter what's true or not true. I mean, they literally could come out and say that they have proof that, Biden has sex with children. They go, oh, that's okay. As long as we get Trump, as long as we get him, because we hate him so much. As a matter of fact, one of my friends, over the weekend when I was speaking with this person, said, just went crazy. We started talking about something, the conspiracy stuff. This person busts my chops once in a while. He said, "Oh, you and your conspiracies." I go, truthfully, I don't have conspiracies. What I have are unrealized truths by the general population. So, and then the person went on and be like, "Oh, I hate Trump. I hate Trump. I hate Trump." And I'm thinking like, wow, and this is a person, that's involved in the yoga community with myself. And I'm thinking, how can you hold this? You're involved with the yoga. The whole point of yoga. How do you hold this much hate in your heart for a person you don't even know? All you know is what they tell you on TV. Yet these people are doing horrible things too, but it's okay. It's just a weird dynamic. See, and it goes back to everything I talk about the programming of our society and everything else. And people are so programmed into this program that it's okay. It's almost like it's just acceptable. This is what goes on. Everybody's corrupt. Everybody does bad things, but this is the way of the world. It's just a weird, dynamic to me that people even accept it at all. So let me go over here. So I did make a couple notes to myself, just points I wanted to mention regarding this. I'm not sure, not too many, but so we talked. The report came out and showed basically Trump's attacked every which way they can attack him. Just trying to get him out of the spotlight. And it's funny too because I see it on when I go on MSN or something like that. They always have stories. The end of Trump is near. Trump just said the stupidest thing ever. No way. Trump just talked himself out of 2024. I mean, every day. And it's just I don't know, but the guy keeps going and he's still speaking. Everybody still loves him. Personally, myself, I have to say, sometimes I don't want to say it. I really like the guy. I just think he's funny. And, I think he takes care of, who gives a shit? His ego. It's a character. Come on, people. Are you going to tell me you can't see through this kind of stuff? Wouldn't you rather have a guy like that that's a little bit of a ball buster and stuff, as opposed to this guy who can't even walk straight or keep his eyes open? I don't know. I mean, you tell me. We're talking about running a country here, and I wanted to say to remember that, it's all a show, basically, and it is all a show. And and that's the thing. That's what I kind of just said is that, the crazy part is that people are so, programmed in the matrix, as it were, that they don't even care. They don't even care that they're lied to. That's the thing. That's what really gets me too. This comes out and, they want to criticize on the side of saying, no charges were brought against anybody. So, it doesn't mean anything. But they're blatantly telling you that they tried to do something to create, negative against a candidate, to interfere with an election. I don't even at the base of it. You should, as an American citizen, you should just be totally pissed off that they even did whether somebody got arrested, didn't get arrested. They're telling you that they were trying to finagle this thing, but nobody cares, right? Because too bad they didn't cheat good enough, or they didn't get away with it enough. Because he still won, or it's just they look at it that way. They don't look at it as what really happened was bad. It's not just bad because it's bad for the country. It's bad. It's illegal. I mean, do you understand? It's bad for our freedoms. I mean, it just shows if they can do that to anybody, and that's one of the things Trump always says. He says, it's not about me. It's about getting to you. That's why they try to get rid of him. Because if you didn't have somebody like him, as much as you might hate him, or some people hate him, who else are you going to find that is a person that's speaking like a normal person and trying to reach out to you? You never see it. It's all, every time you watch a politician, it's total lies. So I don't even understand it, personally. Let's see here. Oh, and this is the kind of thing too. And this is going back to everybody hating Trump and I try to understand this derangement syndrome that people have of hating this person so much. We've had plenty of politicians that you could totally despise over the years, but for whatever reason, Trump, it's because it's Trump and it's a character and it's a show and everything's happening. Human consciousness is changing, and that's just part of it of digging up the dirt and setting us free to a new way of life. And I'm not saying Trump is any kind of demigod or in charge of anything. He is just a character. There's bigger pieces at play making things happen. He's like the lead singer in the band. That's all. Everybody else is playing the music, and he's the face. That's, it's basically that. But what I really do think, people hate Trump because he brings out truths. He brings out truths that people don't want to take responsibility for. Like, people don't even want to think about the kind of stuff that he talks about as far as our freedoms and what's going on behind the scenes. We talk about drain the swamp and everybody knows there's corruption in DC and everything that goes on. But, it's like a big joke. And it comes down to, again, we're all programmed. We're all in this whatever, matrix. And, it takes work, people. And that's what the show is even about. Talks about empowering yourself and being true to yourself and all that type of stuff, and, people don't want to take responsibility. They want to just, go about their day, do everything's okay, as long as they can, Wawa's open, or if Wawa is a convenience store, if it's not one in your area, I don't know what I'm talking about, but 7-Eleven, whatever, as long as Walmart's open and I can go get my crap that I don't need, that's all. That's all that really matters. And the important thing is, in realizing these things, is not attaching to the characters, but realizing what the message is. It's like, we watch a soap opera, you watch General Hospital or one of those, whatever. I mean, some of the characters, I really hate that guy. But it's a show, and he's playing that part to do what the show, has to do. And that's what I don't think people understand about our world and everyday life. Like, people think shit's really just happening haphazardly, randomly, whatever's just going on. And the truth is, that's not how it's happening. Stuff is not going on, just going on. Excuse me. It's like everything is as part of a plan. And, again, we're basically cattle in this world as much as we think we're free. I mean, especially here in the U.S., everybody thinks, I'm free. You're not free. You're not free when you have to pay taxes and you're enslaved to a system and, all the stuff that goes on and the way we go on, your birth certificate, believe me, it goes really down a deep rabbit hole of what's going on. We're property bought and sold, plain and simple. And then they create this little illusion, this little bubble of joy where this is what we live in and this is our entertainment. We go to the movies and we play. I mentioned the video games. I mentioned them yesterday. Play your video games. You got your little tablet. You got your phone buried in your face, or your face buried in your phone all day long. And this is how they keep us apart. This is how they keep things, people just in a space. Again, like I said yesterday, I always said the little petri dish. This is my bell, by the way. So I got my bell, but I turned it upside down, and that's our little petri dish, just our little petri dish of shit that they keep us buried in all the time. So I think it's great. Personally, I'm so happy that this Durham report, it's been this is something, and again, for some people, I know some of this information is new, or they never even heard of it, or they don't give a crap, but this is something that's been going on for, some years, and, one of the things I've been following, and one of the kind of signals that things are happening, again, I don't like to go down the Q road too much because I know that it creates anger in a lot of people. But I again feel that is just a facet of getting people to truth. It's just one way of finding your way. I'm not saying it's the ultimate truth, but if you follow it and you understand it, there's a lot of valuable information. And Durham was kind of a key in that. And not saying anything else is going to happen from what just happened with this report, but it is a step, right? The report comes out and sends another level of information that people start talking and thinking about things, and maybe no charges were filed or whatever type of thing, but it leads to the next step. And, you have to do it this way because, like I've said this a million times, the general population, you can't just come on TV tomorrow and tell everybody that they've been lied to and your money is worthless and your food is poisoned and, the water is poisoned and everything else, every product they make, the fabric in the clothing. I mean, God knows what's, the fabric they put in the clothing poisons you. I mean, it's just crazy stuff that is so beyond what most average, normal, day-to-day people are willing to even open their minds to and accept. I know it's a lot, and again, this is why I feel this to me is a direct correlation as to why people hate Trump so much. They don't hate Trump. It's the energy of what he does that triggers in them, the realization. And I hate to use this word because this is a place of love and joy, and I don't mean this in the way, how it sounds, but, I'm a pretty straight shooter. And basically it's weakness, and I just feel, people who are weak and don't have a strength of character to really, be themselves and do what they want to do and follow their heart no matter what, no matter who persecutes you, who doesn't like you, or, who says something bad about you, teases you, whatever the case may be, ostracizes you from, groups you want to be a part of or whatever. I mean, to me, that's the key. I've said this before, and, that's one of the main reasons, really, I moved to Florida. I just, I felt I'm not giving up who I am inside. I'm doing what I want to do, how I want to do. And, even with like the job, I was complaining in the beginning a little bit. I mean, it's not even a complaint. I don't mind doing the work. Give me a task. I do the stuff. This is nonsense. It's sitting around for 3 hours talking about bullshit. It makes no sense, So let's get it together. Let's start living from our heart and doing things that matter, real things, real things that are helpful to the community, helpful to yourself, to everybody. We're here together. So we should be supporting and building and creating. Again, I think what's going on here, step by step, we're edging towards finally getting ourselves to a new space, really. And honestly, it's up to people. Some people will probably always be in a negative, more three-dimensional space, because they don't want to open up, and maybe it's not time for their soul and their soul's journey. It's not time for them to reach that level. That's why I say we can't have judgment and stuff. But, when I see, for me personally as an ego, doing a show, when I see people, get so angry over somebody else, to me, that's your problem. If you're so mad inside, somebody really triggers you inside, that's your problem. That's not the other person's problem, So, and I think Trump is you couldn't ask for a better character to do what's going on. And if you just, from when he started in 16, to where we are now, it's really amazing. And I really look forward to all the changes that are happening. I just was happy to see this thing actually come to fruition in a sense, the Durham report, that is, and it was disclosed that there was no Russian collusion or all that. So, it's a big deal, because now what? You want to go back to all that stuff. I'm sure other people will say, oh, well, that's not true. It really did happen. That's a lie too, right? I mean, you can look at it that way, but I do think it's a big deal in the steps that we're taking to get to where we need to get to. So anyway, I just wanted to share that today, because I think it's so funny, because again, I have spoken about this in some other episodes as well, but I just think people just hate this guy Trump to their own detriment, and it's really funny. It's like what he's doing is shaking up the shit to show you that how bullshit our system is, and things aren't real. I definitely believe there are groups of people, good-hearted people with love that are trying and working hard to make our world a better space. It has to go the way it has to go. We have to see the destruction. We have to, see how crazy and just ridiculous our leaders act. You just have to see it so that you can say, wait a minute, this can't be, right? Because until we get to the point, each individual, no one's going to make a choice to change anything until you feel it in yourself. So it's always about all these kind of events, and that's why things have been ramping up. I mean, since 2020, it started with the COVID, blah, 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 but then since that, then the political thing happened with the election and Biden winning, and it was all that, and everybody's mad, blah, 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 and it just kept building. Then Biden started doing his things that they're mad at. Trump keeps saying things that people are mad at, and then it just keeps building and building. It's this and it's that, and it's all these things that just keep bringing people to a place of what the F is going on, right? And enough's enough, and we don't need them. We don't need keepers and masters. You have it, you and me, in our hearts. We are it, and that is it. Yeah. Woo! Da-na-na. Da-na-na. Hey-o. So that's the message here today on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen. It's always the same message generally, as far as a space to empower yourself, to remember to see things from a different way, not to get wrapped up in mainstream nonsense, and just watch it play out. Read things between the lines. Stop looking at everything. For those that do or disagree with me, just stop looking at. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I would invite you to take the opportunity to read between the lines and not take everything as so literal or exact is what they say and show. So I don't know. I think it's kind of as simple as that. All right. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time being here with me as you generally tend to be. I really appreciate you checking in and watching the show. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. Yes, indeed. And what else about that? Yeah, don't forget your participation. I won't say is required, although I would like to say it's required. required, but I would never force anybody to do anything. Your participation is encouraged, and we would love to have you here. I don't know I know me, but we is me too. So I would love to have you here, and we would love to have you here to come on if you'd like to come on. Got an interview coming up tomorrow. Got another one coming up on Monday. So we got a couple things happening. So you can take time to be part two, whatever you want to share, whatever messages you have. Either way, send me an email or something like that for topics you'd like for me to cover. I'm happy to do whatever you'd like for me to do, in a sense, because you're the audience, and I'm here for you. I'm a man of the people, and that's what Operation Status Quo is all about. All right, so listen, God bless each and every one of you out there. I love you, as I've said before. I got to go back over here, and don't forget, just you flow with the quo, and then create your own flow of quo. You don't have to let them steal your show, don't you know? All right, until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, Operation Status Quo disengaged.
Is a boulevard of 10 short blocks.